Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We are currently exploring the scripture Mysticism of Srimad Bhagavatam. Commentary is by my worshipful Gurudev, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently studying the mystical meaning of the Ras, the dance with gopis and Krishna. Viraha, the pain of separation from God. Srimad Bhagavatam presents a most poignant portrait of what devotional texts refer to as viraha. When Krishna sensed the development of subtle pride in the gopis as they sported with him in Vrindavana prior to the Ras dance, he suddenly disappeared. As Krishna explained to the gopis later, he hid briefly only to free them from the mental limitation. During his absence, the gopis experienced the most intense pain of separation or viraha. This state of viraha is a lofty state on the path of devotion. It is experienced by rare, fortunate souls who have attained purity of heart and have become spiritually intoxicated by glimpsing the divine beloved. Just as lightning in the sky illumines the firmament only to vanish and leave dark clouds dominating the sky, in the same way, a devotee experiences glimpses of the Supreme Beloved, which are followed by darkness, a stage of yearning to regain the mental vision and the mystical vision. Viraha is the precursor of the overwhelming sweetness of divine union. The fire of viraha burns all impurities of the mind and melts one's heart. Worldly sentiments then dissolve in the river of divine love that flows to the ocean of God. The term viraha is also used in common parlance to imply the pain experienced by a lover when separated from his beloved. Yet it would be a great folly to define viraha in terms of worldly pain. Worldly pain is to be eradicated, but divine viraha is to be adored, aspired for, and experienced. Miserable is the person afflicted with worldly pain, but most blessed is the devotee who suffers pain of separation from the divine beloved. So let us look into the Gopi Radha, the symbol of Mahabhav. The highest flight of devotional sentiment is called Mahabhav in mystical terminology. In certain devotional Puranas, this absolutely pure sentiment is symbolized by Radha, the foremost devotee among the gopis. Although Srimad Bhagavatam does not mention the role of Radha, it does suggest that there was one among the gopis who was specially close to Krishna. In the later Puranas, Radha became the symbol of the highest devotional feeling. In these texts, there is no jealousy between the gopis and Radha, just as there is no contradiction between divine sentiments and the highest devotional feeling, Mahabhava, in which all sentiments are fulfilled. Thus, the gopis yearned to bring Radha and Krishna together. They found their love for Krishna fulfilled as Radha met with Krishna and delighted in him because they saw themselves in Radha. They experienced divine satisfaction in Krishna's one pointed love for Radha and Radha's love for him. The moment Radha unfolds within one's heart, union with Krishna naturally follows. When one finds the footprints of Mahabhava, they will lead one directly to the divine self. So with this we conclude this beautiful mystical meaning of Ras, the communion of gopis and Krishna. So let us move on to the next episode, destruction of Sudarshana, the terrible python. So once Nanda, the foster father of Krishna, along with many people of his village, planned to go to a special pilgrimage site to observe the festivity of Shivratri. Shiv is Lord Shiva, Ratri means night. They all entered into their bullock carts and proceeded towards Ambika Van by the Saraswati river. Having reached there, they worshipped goddess Ambika, also known as goddess Durga, the destroyer of all obstacles, and gave away gold, clothing, sweets, and many other things in charity. After observing the day in fasting, they all fell asleep by the Saraswati river. Now in that forest there lived a terrible python that was always exceedingly hungry, and of course he was not observing Shivratri fast. Gliding towards the river, he found Nanda sleeping and caught hold of his foot. Nanda woke up and started shouting, "O Krishna, O my son, a python is swallowing me. Come quickly and save me." Others also woke up and started to beat the python, but the snake was unperturbed by the shouts and beatings and continued to gradually swallow the foot of Nanda. However, Krishna rushed to the rescue, and by a mere touch of his foot, the python immediately died. To the amazement of the onlookers, out of his snakish body emerged a beautiful divine form, emanating luminosity and decked with celestial garments. That celestial being stood before Krishna with folded hands. "Who are you?" asked Krishna, "and what led you to become a python?" The luminous being replied, "I am a Vidyadhara." Vidyadhara is a being from another plane of existence, a plane in between human beings and gods. So there are many subtle levels of planes of consciousness. My name is Sudarshan, which means one who is most beautiful to behold. Darshan means the view, Su means extreme, extremely, so extremely beautiful, auspicious view. As a Vidyadhara, I was very proud of my appearance, and just to exhibit myself, I would take an aerial car to various places where people would observe me and see how wonderfully built I was. So he had a lot of body identity and pride for his good looks. Once in such a trip in my aerial car, I came to a place where there were sages belonging to the line of sage Angira, sages who were most ugly looking. When I saw them, I laughed, and the moment I laughed, they turned to me and uttered a curse. "May you become a python and remain so until you are touched by Krishna." So today, that curse of the sages has turned into a boon. I have been touched by your lotus feet, O Lord, and thus this has been the greatest joy of my existence. Now too I am free from that python embodiment. Thus saying, that Vidyadhara offered prayers to Krishna and with his permission flew off into the sky. So as we often discuss, the curse in spirituality in Sanatana Dharma, when a saint takes the water, chants a mantra and throws it on you, is to transform your personality, even though it may appear as a negative statement where we are cursed. That curse actually from a deeper viewpoint is to correct our problem and to put us on the proper path. It's like short-circuited electricity. A naked wire that is dangerous has to be insulated and properly protected. Unless that happens, it is dangerous. So much in the same way, in this case, Sudarshan was only externally oriented, not looking at the Atma or the consciousness, and was very proud of his good looks. And worse, he was making fun of the sages who don't care about their body. The body is like a shoe to them, like a external garment. So they are not attached, they are inwardly oriented, and thus he was also put on that path, whether even though initially unwillingly. So that is the grace of the sages and saints who guide us in multiple ways. Even their anger is auspicious for us. Glory to the sages, glory to Guru, Shishya Parampara. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. With this we end our satsang for today. I will see you in tomorrow's satsanga. Hari Om Tat Sat.